I can't really think of a decent preamble for this one. There was no deeper thought process or underlying curiosity, it was more just an idea suggested by a viewer, and it sounded fun, so we're doing it. If you don't know, in Fallout 4 the minigun has an optional attachment for its barrels called the Shredder, which basically does what it says on the tin. If a living thing happens to get too close when those barrels are spinning, then it's going to have its life card revoked in a really messy fashion way before they can even say, oh fuck, I got too close. It's a nifty attachment, and it also appealed to me because I remember drawing something very similar to this when I was in college. If I can find the drawing, I'll put a picture of it on screen. But basically it was a minigun that had a full longsword blade affixed to each one of its barrels, because practicality was as foreign a concept to me as being talented is to the developers of most Bethesda games. But yeah, this appealed to me. Because the minigun is a truly dreadful weapon, and I just mean awful, I never felt a desire to invest in the thing long enough to actually make use of this upgrade. Then I did the minigun run a little while ago and discovered that the Shredder worked without bullets, which yeah, makes sense now that I say it out loud, but it being a Fallout game I just didn't want to, expect that. Anyway, someone suggested I do this as a full run, beat the entire game with only the Shredder, and I thought sure, why not, let's take on the Commonwealth with only the minigun Shredder. As always, it's time to line up the rules. Number 1, all enemies that I wish to slay must be slain with only the Shredder. This means no shooting or bashing. If the gun's not spinning, I'm not allowed to kill the enemy. Number 2, no using companions to do our dirty work, but the usual caveat is in place for story and quest moments that require us to be accompanied. And number 3, we must complete the nuclear family or nuclear option quest to end the run. As always, if you end up liking this adventure, then please consider giving the video a little thumbs up or leave a comment if you like, even if it's just one to call me a dickhead. You wouldn't be wrong. Also subscribe if you want to see what else I do, I'd appreciate it. Also, I have a Discord now, so if you want to join that and do a little chit chat, you can find the link in the description below, and hopefully in a pinned comment if I remember to do that. So without further ado, let's dive on in. This is the Shredder only Fallout 4 run. Let's get to running and shredding. Shredding? Of course, before we properly get into shredding, we have to design our character, so I went for a fairly basic blonde person because I couldn't think of anything better this time. Then I sat down to wait for the Vault Tech salesman. Oh, there he is. Now we can choose a name and set up our special skills. As I usually do, I tried to come up with something of a pun name, Sawdry, like Audrey. It wasn't clever. I then threw most of my points onto strength because the basher perk is basically going to be our best friend for this run. It's the only perk that will increase the damage of the Shredder, so it's the only one to really work with. With that all done, you know what comes next? F is for fire that burns down the whole town, used for uranium bombs. N is for no survivors, or no Nate in this particular instance. I could have summed that fairly easily and I just didn't. Anyway, our husband's been murdered, that's the point to take away. Oh, and our baby has been kidnapped. I'm sure you know this already, but that's what happened if you don't know. That's what happens in Fallout 4. Anyway, I'll see you in 60 years. There we go, we woke up just in time to do absolutely nothing. It's time to begin our adventure. Because there's no minigun in this vault, and because even if there was a minigun it probably wouldn't have a Shredder, there's nothing I can really do in the vault, so let's just make our way outside. After, of course, we trap all the radroaches behind doors so they can't continue to bite us. I mean, I've already lost like half of my health to these guys. That's not good. It's your fault, Mr. Skeleton. Yeah. That'll teach ya. Anyway, enough fucking around. Grab the Pip-Boy. Yep, perfect fit. Let's ignore the bone smell. Just a quick scouting up in the perk selection. Yep, Basher. That's what we're going to want. It's quite a ways down there, but luckily, since we've already got maximum strength, it shouldn't be too hard to get a hold of. If only it was the only perk I needed. Spoilers, it's not the only perk I needed, but I didn't think of that until after starting the run. Don't worry, we'll talk about that later. For now, let's focus on the much more simple task of getting a hold of the minigun. We all know just how soon we can get one in Fallout 4, don't we, viewers? It's just a short walk down the road, followed by a mad dash through Concord, ignoring all the raiders and making them cry, and capped off by running through the Museum of Freedom like an absolute psychopath. Oh hey, cool, we leveled up. Just gotta make this jump, there we go, to the roof. Because we started with 10 strength, we can rip this minigun right off the vertibird without even having to get into power armor, so we can avoid spawning the next wave of raiders. Don't worry, we'll come back and deal with them later. Rude. Yeah, I couldn't tell you why I thought that was a good idea. You can survive falling off this building if you take time and angle it right, but I didn't do that time, I just sort of went for it. The goal is to break your fall on these iron spikes. What? That didn't work? I mean, of course it didn't work. In hindsight, that's a terrible idea. Okay, third time's the charm. I know I can survive this. Here we go. See, I told you that landing on iron spikes was a good idea. I'm such a big-brained person. All I've got to do now is limp back to Sanctuary so I can upgrade the gun. Ooh, I can't wait to start ripping people apart. Oh. Oh dear. So here's the problem I alluded to earlier. We need rank 2 of Gun Nut. That requires us be at level 13. So I'm gonna have to do the usual abuse the building mechanics so I can actually get there. This might take a while. Yeah, so I don't even know how long this took. I did my usual thing where I started building structures that looked reasonable so that I could at least make the place look nice, which didn't get me anywhere near what I needed and I was already running out of the will to keep doing it. Because I was getting bored of building, I thought, fuck it, let's go and do some quests that don't actually rely on me having to kill anyone. So I did the Order Up quest, by which I mean Trudy did the Order Up quest and I just sort of stood there. I did the Fire Support quest, by which I mean Dads did the Fire Support quest and I just sort of stood there. I did the ArcJet Systems quest, by which I mean Dads did the ArcJet Systems quest and I just sort of stood there. I went to Diamond City and did Shem's quest where we pick up bits of rubbish in the water so that the town doesn't get sick. I did Piper's interview twice because the game crashed on the first time, and that's when I stopped for quite a long time. Because I was getting bored and frustrated. I completed an entire run of Demon Souls in the couple of weeks that I was supposed to be using for Fallout 4. All because I had to get to level 13 to even really begin this run. In the end, I broke my personal rule of not completely cheesing things with the building system and just repeatedly built wooden posts, deleted them and rebuilt them. When I ran out of materials, I robbed the bank, bought some more wood and repeated the cycle. Using this method, it only took me like 40 minutes to actually get the remaining XP I needed, but it was just not fun. I also feel really cheap doing it this way. Look, no hate to you if this is the method you use in your main playthroughs to get XP quickly, it certainly works, I just don't personally like doing it. Eventually though, it got me to where I needed to be. As you can see, I also took some other perks and I threw some points onto endurance, but be honest with me, do you really care what the rest of my character looks like? Oh god, then I'll tell you. I put a point into endurance, took both of the first ranks of toughness, I threw an extra point onto intelligence, I took the medic perk, I also took the lone wanderer perk, and I've got a couple of points in hacker. Oh, and of course the first and second rank of gun nut, I've got those too. But finally I was able to build the shredder and we can begin the run properly. We've returned to Concord to save Preston's life, let's see how well this goes. So it goes quite well apparently. I can sort of foresee the action points being a bit of a problem, but I don't imagine it'll be a big one. I'm fairly confident that that entire situation is negligible just by getting into some power armor, but I also want to limit my use of power armor in this run. Mostly because I really can't be bothered to invest in the perks that make power armor more viable. I also don't really want to spend hours searching for parts to keep the thing repaired. I'll confess, after I finally built the shredder, I was in more of a mood to just push through the run without having to get distracted. So we're basically only going to be doing the critical path, we're not going to diverge to do anything else. The only reason I'm really even doing this quest is because I want to get used to using the shredder, and I also kind of want to see how it handles a Deathclaw. Alley-oop. Let me just delete the raiders real fast. There we go. Hi, Mr. Cuddles. Are you ready for a fight? Well, fucking too bad, isn't it? That was upsettingly effective. I'd also be remiss if I didn't point out the fact that when using a minigun, it's still a better option to melee the Deathclaw with the shredder than it is to shoot it with the pathetic bullets. By the old one, the minigun is terrible. But there we go, we sorted out Concord, and I won't lie, the shredder is quite a lot of fun. Right, let's get on with the main quest. Actually, first I'm going to go and dump my power armor in Diamond City. There we are, we're just going to leave this here. If any of you citizens steal this, then I'm going to, I don't know, shake my fist at you or something. Luckily enough, during the time where I was searching for ways to get to level 13 without killing anyone, I discovered some of the locations we'll need later, so we could just travel right to the area where we need to find Nick Valentine. In hindsight, I probably could have just walked a few extra steps and discovered the metro station that we actually needed, but I didn't. You know me, I don't really have anything approaching forethought. I barely have regular thought. No time to waste, let's head inside. The first floor is a piece of piss. Given the fact that Triggermen use suits rather than armour, that's probably to be expected. I'm also only now realising just how effective effective the Shredder is at causing stagger. The more we stagger an enemy, the less chance they have of breaking through with a melee attack to cancel me out of my spin. As with any melee build, we do have to be wary of ranged enemies, given the fact that we're going to be running out into the open just to close the distance. Then again, if we can just keep one enemy between us and the other ones with guns, we'll usually be okay because they don't like to shoot at their own people. There's not much to see here. No, for real, I mean, I have nothing to even really say. This dungeon went past incredibly quickly because the Shredder absolutely minces everything it comes into contact with. All in all, I think the entire dungeon only took me like 3 minutes to complete. Even the triggermen that are just randomly tougher than their friends didn't stand much of a chance. All I had to do was close the gap and voila. Honestly, this right here is another reason why this video took me so long to make, because I just don't have anything to say in these particular moments. I feel nothing with this victory. I thought maybe Dino would give us a bit more of a challenge because he actually has a name and shit. Nope. Hey Nick, missing child, help me find please, thank you. I thought this run would be a lot more fun, but the spectacle of completely wiping out an enemy's health bar just by walking up to them is already wearing off. The fact that this run was so easy is also one of the things that contributed to me wanting to play Demon's Souls in between just so I could feel something and make a video about that instead, although that video is going to have to wait for a while because I have to do a new run. You see, lately my PS5 has had this really fun little quirk going on where about 1 in every 15 of my video clips that I record is just useless. There's no way to tell at first glance, it looks like a regular video clip. It's got the thumbnail, the video duration, but when you click on it, nothing happens. You can't copy it because it just won't let you, there's nothing to copy apparently, it's corrupted. And because the PS5 is committed to being a massive piece of shit, 2 of the clips of me fighting bosses have been just lost. And they were right at the fucking beginning of the game as well, which just, like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have been able to reload an earlier save anyway because that's not how the Souls games work, but for some reason this still feels really, like, just dickish. Yeah, in case you couldn't tell, I'm not particularly happy. I now have to do a fresh run of Demon's Souls if I want to do a video about it, which I do. I like Demon's Souls, I want to make content about it. But I now have to redo the whole fucking thing, and having it installed causes my PS5 to slow the fuck down. I can't use my other apps properly because they keep lagging until I play a bit of Demon's Souls to get it to fucking behave itself, and even that's not consistent. Sorry about all of that, I'm just in a really irritating mood right now, and I live alone so I can't really vent to anyone, so it's your problem now. Take that, internet. Or you skipped over because I went back and put a timestamp so you could just skip forward and miss this little rant. If you did skip over, just gonna let you know, I managed to convince Darla to leave the vault without violence. I know, I'm surprised too. Valentine is safe, we've leveled up, I'm gonna take Life Giver. A bit of extra health is always nice. Now it's just a quick trip back to Diamond City. Hi Nick, we'll do your interview now, my baby's missing, find him for me, or we'll find him together. Well, not really together, because I'm gonna ditch you the moment I get a chance. Speeding through this bit, Kellogg's house, locked, McDonough, key, Kellogg's house again, open the secret bit. Oh no, not here. Hi dog meat, time to do tracking. This is where we abandon Nick. To be fair, he's not very good in combat, it's not like we're actually losing anything. I love you Nicky boy, but you're just terrible. Damn, I really like the Brotherhood of Steel Fatigues, this is such a cool looking outfit. Hey, do you reckon I'll run into a Deathclaw again this time? Apparently not. Ah well, at least the mole rats haven't abandoned us. Either way, just like the triggermen in the vault, this entire bit is upsettingly easy. Most of the enemies we'll find during this section are melee focused, but unlike human enemies, they can't block my attacks. So all I really have to do is just stand there and spin up the gun and the enemy will usually die. If, like this Yao Guai here, they happen to get a hit in while I'm spinning, then yes, it will knock me out of it, but it doesn't take too long to get going again. I'm gonna say it, the Shredder is utterly broken. Broken in my favour, albeit, but still. It's kind of strange that this particular mod is available as early as level 13, because it absolutely wrecks and I'm not even that heavily invested in the Basher perk. Perhaps the devs just didn't think anyone would ever use the minigun long enough to even notice, which is a fair assumption, it's a terrible weapon. Anyway, we've basically reached Cornflakes, good job dog meat, now piss off. Once I'm inside Fort Hagen, things go about the same as they did before. I am taking noticeably more damage from attacks, but it's not that big a deal. The synths in this location have a bit of a habit of grouping up, so it's not too hard to take them down, and they get staggered really easily by being hit by what is essentially a giant drill. Oh hey, this guy's actually taking some effort to kill and I'm nearly dead. There we go, that's something. I'm guessing enemies like this will be few and far between, but hey, it's a nice little surprise. Anyway, let's go and tear it to do anus. Wait, I don't think these model of synths would even have an anus. What would they use it for? Yes, hello, I see you up there. I've got to take a quick moment here to say that I'm really glad that weapon durability isn't a thing in Fallout 4, because if it was, you just know using the shredder would make my weapon decay like it was a weapon in Dark Souls 2. I've not played Dark Souls 2 in like ages. I should reinstall it and have another go, that'd be fun. Anyway, as you can see, clearing out Fort Hagen is going pretty smoothly. Then again, I think ever since I did this with the no medical equipment run, it's just felt that much easier because I can actually recover from attacks now. I guess after you've done that kind of run, everything is just going to feel a bit easier. I feel like I might have spoiled the game for myself a little bit. This bit here did get a bit hairy for a moment, but it's only because I'm still wearing the Brotherhood fatigues, which really don't offer that much protection from damage. I was feeling kind of lazy and just couldn't be bothered to go and find some actual armour. Hi, cornflakes. Bye, cornflakes. That was me saying goodbye to Kellogg. I'm not telling you to purchase cornflakes. Although you should purchase cornflakes. I'm being paid by cornflakes. No particular brand, just cornflakes, the cereal. They know where I live. Anyway, yeah, that was the boss fight. The shredder's so dumb, I love it. Well, I suppose we need to pop back to Nick. Oh yeah, hello Prydwen. How you doing? It's a cool looking airship. Shame it's occupied by the nuts. Anyway, oh yeah, I could do Far From Home. I'm probably not gonna. I do like Far Harbor, but I don't think I really want to go there with this character. Like, don't get me wrong, she is basically easy mode, but like, I just don't feel like it. Maybe I'll change my mind, we'll see. Back to the game at hand, we've told Nick about the whole Kellogg thing, we now need to go to the memory den, so let's just shoot over there real quick. Well, I can't shoot over there, I can shred over there. I'm fully aware that I'm cringe. Oh wait, hold on a second. You bastard. Hang on, I'm carrying some meat. Let me just use that to get myself to where I need to be. There we go. Please, Mr. Perk Chart, give me Life Giver 2, thank you. Anyway, legging it to good neighbour. I was gonna kill Finn, but like, as soon as you get into melee range with him, he starts talking to you and just kinda hijacks it. I also know from experience, if you kill Finn whilst Hancock is talking to him, the whole town turns hostile. I'm not sure if it's supposed to, it could be a bug, but that happened last time I did it in this order and I don't want it to happen again. Anyway, to Dr. Amari. Hey Doc, how'd you like to help me invade this person's brain? She wouldn't, but she's going to anyway. Here's hoping there's good intel in here and not just memories of him masturbating. Oh god, it's all porn. Finally, a memory that isn't filthy. Right, we've got the intel we need. Find Virgil in the glowing sea. Should I wear my power armor for this bit? Should I go back and get it from Diamond City? I don't really want to. I mean, it's not that much effort to go and do. Yeah, fuck it, I'll go get the power armor. Oi, stop touching my shit, you little bastard. I swear, the nerve of some people. I should probably upgrade this suit so it doesn't look like a rusty piece of shit. There we go, now it looks better. Time to tackle the radiation nightmare that is the glowing sea. I'd love to weave you some sort of tale of how difficult it was to cross the glowing sea, but it really wasn't. Almost every enemy you find in the glowing sea is a melee fighter, and because none of them are humans, or at least Mirelurks, they can't block my attacks. It's just a walk in the radioactive park. I can't help but think it'd be really cool if you could ride a rad scorpion. Maybe the Deathclaw outside of Virgil's place will give me more of a challenge. After all, this one doesn't have to climb out of a sewer, so I can't get several uninterrupted hits on its face. Well, I mean, it put up a fight. Hi, Virgil. Go and kill a courser. Okay. Before that, though, I'm probably going to go and ditch the power armor again. I'm just thinking that power armor taking away the AP cost of spinning up the barrels of the minigun kinda neuters the whole challenge aspect. To the courser hunt. On the way, some raiders asked me for directions. To hell? I'm kidding, they made it to heaven. I know, it's crazy. Here's, oh fuck, I forgot what my character's name is. Oh fuck, that's driving me nuts. Hang on a second. Sawdry! It was Sawdry. A pun so dumb that I fucking forgot it. I'll remember it for next time. I'm just gonna throw that point onto endurance. There are literally no other perks I can take that will make the shredder more effective, and let's be real, it doesn't need to be more effective. So yeah, if you are thinking of doing a shredder only run, just keep in mind that only the basher perk actually affects its damage output. Bloody Mess has no effect. The melee skills, no effect. Again, it's not like it needs a damage boost from anything else, the basher skill already carries us really well. It's just a little factoid worth knowing so you don't waste your perk points. Here's Sawdry! See, I got it right that time. I have to imagine that actually using the shredder to dismantle a turret, it would make like the most gross metal ripping noises you could hear. Anyway, let's keep the murder train going. Choo choo! This is yet another ridiculously simple dungeon. The gunners have absolutely no idea how to handle what I'm doing, and even the usual one that has the missile launcher that often kills me at least once only broke my legs this time. Like, how terrifying does that have to be for this one gunner? She fires a fucking rocket at me and I just keep hobbling towards her with the minigun. Like, that's gotta be some Saw level terror. I mean like good Saw terror, not like most of the Saw franchise terror. But yeah, the point I was making is that this highly trained mercenary outfit has absolutely no contingency plan for someone running at them with a drill. Now it's time for the battle against a mighty Corsair Z247. He needs a better name than that. Bill. Anyway, have at ye, mechanical menace. I mean, he survived a bit longer than Cornflakes did. Might as well make some people confetti out of the remaining gunners. Hey Dr. Amari, I've got a Corsair chip for you. Please ignore all the gore that's attached to it. And also just be impressed that it didn't get broken by the horrible thing that I did. Go find the railroad. Okay. Hey feral ghouls, do you know where the railroad is? Apparently not. I know that I've asked this question before, but I'm gonna ask it again. Why did a railroad just let a bunch of feral ghouls, like, sit right on top of the entrance to their home? Would it not be safer to get rid of them? That way your agents won't be risking life and limb every time they have to go out the front fucking door. Now we just spell railroad with the turny shape. Yay, we found the railroad. I have a Corsair chip I need you to decode for me because I don't know how to do that. We'll do it for you, but we keep the chip. Okay. By the way, we're gonna join the railroad for this one. I rolled a dice to decide it, and I forgot to record myself rolling the dice. It didn't occur to me until just now as I'm recording this sentence, like weeks after I've already recorded the run's footage. Of course, to get this ending, we are going to have to do one of Deacon's quests, I think. You know what, we'll play it by ear. Honestly, you'd think someone who's been playing Fallout 4 for 10 years would know this. Fuck it, we'll play it safe, we'll do the quest. By the Titan, you walk so slowly. I really wish the developers of these games would understand that us players, we don't walk slowly everywhere in the game. Could you just have the characters meet us at our own pace, please? I'm gonna take out my frustration on these ghouls. Also, no, I don't know why the sides of the screen get all weird when I melee kill something. I have noticed it, I don't know why it happens. Hi, railroad guy. There are synths down there. Okay, wait, that's not me. Anyway, let's go and bugger some synths. Not in the naughty way. Maybe, if we have time. You know what, in a weird way, I'm kind of looking forward to doing this mission. Not because it's a very good mission, I mean, it's fine. It's a fine mission. But rather because last time we did this, I had to rely on the follower AI to actually do all the work for me, and it was annoying. That run sucked. This time, I'm the one bringing the pain. As has been the case with the majority of the combat encounters so far, this is not too difficult to get done. Every so often a single synth will get one hit off which kind of interrupts what I'm doing, but then I very quickly delete them afterwards, so it's really not a big deal. I guess they're doing damage. Yeah, I'd charitably call that damage, but yeah, no, there's not really anything to see here. When I'm looking at this, I do kind of wish Fallout 4 included a chainsaw weapon for us to use that wasn't the Ripper. Like, don't get me wrong, the Ripper is fine, but you know in New Vegas how you could just get a full chainsaw? Yeah, I kind of wish we got that in this. Veronica, stop. You've already talked to the viewers about how much you like New Vegas' weapon arsenal. You don't have to bring it up every time. Hey, do you want to bet I can hit the simp through the door? This thing is so stupid. Well, that's the mission basically done. All we've got to do is get out. Oh yes, hello, I forgot about the guards. Just have some of this. There we go. Oh, and we can't forget the guys waiting for us outside. How would you like a taste of my shredder? What's that? It tastes of pain. Good. Now we just take out the turrets downstairs. There we are. Is it just me or are there way more landmines here than there should be? Well, fuck. If you happen to be wondering why I didn't try, say, running away from the landmines, I don't know. I don't know. Okay? I'm a bit stupid. Anyway, we sorted out that quest, which means the railroad will help us build the signal interceptor. What was any of that? Have I drunk any water today? Anyhow, we should probably think of a place to build the fucking thing. Fuck it, we'll just use Sanctuary Hills. I can't be bothered to go and unlock a new place. Once I, finish clearing out all the wood beams that I just left here rather than dealing with earlier. Why do I do these things to myself?
He It's all.
There we go, I forgot just how many posts were hiding within the other posts. Now we quickly head back to the railroad to see if Tinker Tom has sorted out the rest of the schematics, and I've just got to be honest with you for a second. I don't like this bit for any of the factions, it's completely unnecessary. Can I not just give them the schematics, let them decipher the whole thing, and then start building rather than having to go back and forth? It's very weird. Although, to be fair, your dear Aunt Ronica does play Fallout 4 quite an upsetting amount, so maybe I just notice it a lot because I do it so often. I should probably play more games in my downtime. Anywho, we have built the thingamabob to send us to the placemajiggy to do the stuff things. I'm fantastic at briefings. Let's not waste any time, send me to the Institute. Hey, is it a good idea to look into this thing while it's doing it? Oh, retinas! Retinas! And we're in, and it only gave me 3 different tumours. I have to imagine using this relay is probably like really unhealthy. Before we go any further though, let's just handle that level up. I think I will take... yeah, fuck it, toughness rank 3, that works. I'm just now realising how similar most of my challenge run characters end up being at the end. Like, don't get me wrong, yes, they're using different weapons and approaches, but like, most of them have a lot of toughness or a lot of health. Maybe I need to do a run where I don't take these perks. That's an option, I suppose. Anyway, we found our son. He's an old dickhead. I guess we have to work with him for a little while to trick him into thinking that we're on his side. I can only imagine how much it must hurt him to know his mum is going to be working against him, but then again, he treats our entire life like we're some sort of experiment, so it's kind of hard to feel too much sympathy. You know what, one side thing that we're going to do since we're in the Institute anyway, I'm going to pop to Bioscience and grab Virgil his serum, just because I can. I don't need to, but I can do it. Plus, I am genuinely curious to see just how effective this particular build will be against an Assaultron. They're close combat nightmares with face lasers. This could either go really well or really poorly. Well, I guess that's all she wrote. At the start of this run, I thought that melee opponents would be the biggest problem, but so far they've been the easiest to deal with because they'll run right to you. And because we're not actually bashing them with the gun, they won't try to block anything because they're not registering this as a melee attack. Of course, on occasion, they'll still get a couple of attacks on you, but then again, that's why we give ourselves Lifebringer and Toughness so that we can just sort of tank through it without having to think. Right, anyway, I've now basically done the institutionalized quest. That means it's time for a day trip to Libertaria. But first, we do have to meet our railroad contact inside the Institute. There he is. Hello, Liam. Help me free the synths. Let's go talk to your synth buddy. I'm just gonna skip over this bit. However, we're not skipping to Libertaria just yet. We're gonna quickly go and do the Cambridge Polymer Labs quest, because you need to get that done. You need a thing from there to help deal with the Institute later. Here's a fun little fact for you. I actually did the Cambridge Polymer Labs quest properly. I did the actual thing. I mean, sure, I murdered the robot at first because I thought it'd be easier. I had every intention of just coming here, grabbing what I needed, and then finding the easy way out. But I forgot what the easy way out was, so I just thought, you know what, I've never actually completed this quest before, at least not properly, I might as well at least try and do it now. So once I cleared out the ghouls, I ran around grabbing the canisters. The canisters aren't what I'm here for, I was here for the whole pre-war security thing, because the Institute is a bad place. There's so much more to the quest than that, but I only got like 3 hours of sleep last night. I'm running on fumes. By the way, the reason I've never completed this quest properly before, it's not because it's difficult or anything, because it really isn't. I'm just lazy and don't always want to read. Maybe I should do it more often. I mean, you do get a cool piece of power armor out of it. It's a T-51 looking one, and that's like one of my favourite power armors. Actually, I think it is my favourite power armor. Anyway, we did a good job. We killed the director. Now we can move on to bigger and better things. Oh yeah, before I do though, I should probably let the railroad know that I, lived. There we go, a bit of back and forth, but now everything's in motion. We can continue the main plot. Off to Libertaria we go, and I'm just going to be walking in a straight line from my closest location, even if it does take me through irradiated water and dangerously close to some more raiders. But we made it, so let's get to work. Dealing with most of the raiders around here is going to be pretty simple. There's only really one we have to worry about because he's carrying a fat man. The odds are about 50-50 if he'll even notice I'm down here and just throw his shell at me now. So far it looks like we're going to get where we need to go unmolested. Please don't notice me on fire, please don't notice me on fire. My phone was not on silent. I really hope the raider didn't hear that. Now it's just a simple matter of working our way up through this little tower here. I'm fairly certain there are meant to be more raiders at this part, like this place is supposed to be crawling with them. Oh, hello! So, I found the one that had the fat man. Well, take 2, we can't do any worse. Oh yeah, I didn't save at any point throughout that journey. Well, shit.
And I can't get...
And we're back, let's try again. On the way I found a gas mask, so I look a little bit more serial killer-y, I think. And you know what, because sometimes I'm capable of learning from mistakes, just gonna do that real quick. There we go. Here's hoping this time the guy with the fat man either doesn't see me or I can kill him before he fires. Make our way across here, so far no shells. Okay, we're back at the lift and still no shells. I do prefer when he fires at me when I'm out here, because I feel like I've got a better chance to dodge it. Well, because I'm not in a tight corridor with him. Oh cool, he's above me, and he fired right over me. Yeah, fair enough. Now we just have to get to him before he reloads. I'm pretty sure he only has one shell, but I've been wrong about that before. I don't think it was this guy. Was it you? No, I don't think so. Maybe it's this next one. Yep, it's this guy. It's this guy right here. That'll teach you, you cheap bastard. There we go, we made it to the top. Now let's just talk to the raider boss. Hi Gabriel, you're secretly a synth. Time to go home. Let me just chainsaw your friends real quick. There we go, and we're now level 19. You know, we're probably not going to make it to this point, but I'm going to start pumping perception just to see if I can get the reflector perk. I think it'll be handy when we assault the Institute. Oh, goody gumdrops, we're about to do the Battle of Bunker Hill, aren't we? Although, to be completely fair, it's probably not going to be that bad this time. I can actually do damage now. Admittedly, my main complaint about it is it causes the game to slow down and crash, like, a lot. Even the PS5 version struggles with it. I would pretend to be surprised that the next gen Fallout 4 upgrade is still not that good, but it's Bethesda. What were we expecting? Anywho, let's just get to it. You know what I've just remembered? I'm not actually enemies with the Brotherhood of Steel yet, so I won't need to kill anyone until right at the end when we, you know, destroy this Corsair. I can't help but feel like the Battle of Bunker Hill was supposed to go after Mass Fusion, you know, when you've already selected sides. I honestly can't remember the last time I did this quest and actually had to deal with hostile entities on the outside. It's actually kind of funny in hindsight. I could just sort of stroll into this building while everyone inside is engaged in a massive gunfight. Yeah, don't mind me everyone, I'm just looking for the toilets. Oh yeah, sometimes this turret doesn't like you. Other times it doesn't care. I'm not actually sure what I'm supposed to think of this turret. Hey there, synth buddies, don't worry, I'm not going to reset you and send you back to the Institute to be slaves. You're going to be able to live out your life on the surface, although there's still a chance you'll end up as slaves. Let's see if this Corsair is any harder to kill than the first one, although to avoid collateral damage I do want to sort of get him out here. There we go, have at you! Well, there we go. I guess we just awkwardly bugger off now. Ah, Sean, you just won't believe it. We were caught off guard. I know. What a shocking turn of events. I definitely didn't have anything to do with this. To be fair though, this is the moment when he tells us we're basically a big experiment to him, so let's not feel too bad about betraying his trust. Either way, that's the Battle of Bunker Hill sorted. I feel... something. Do I? I don't know. Now I get to attend a meeting. Yay! Admittedly, the nerd in me is actually kind of happy that this scene exists, even though it's really not that good. I'm sure the argument would be, well, no one wants to sit through an entire real meeting. It has to be short and simple, otherwise people will lose interest, because, like, I don't know, I guess they forget RPG players like to actually engage with the world. Although I am the kind of weirdo who gets oddly excited by bureaucracy, so you definitely shouldn't take anything I'm saying as if it means anything. Anyway, meeting's over. Sean revealed that he's dying. Sorry to hear that, kiddo, I guess. On the upside, just by sitting there and letting them all natter on for ages, I got a level up. Oh, go on then, we'll take the final rank of Life Giver. It's time for everyone's favourite Mass Fusion. Look, I know, you're all right, but come on! Just like with the Battle of Bunker Hill, the main reason I don't like this quest is because it tends to be where the game crashes the most. Fallout 4's game engine can barely manage all the people on screen at once doing all their different things. Like, don't get me wrong, I kind of respect the fact that they really wanted to have this epic big shootout in a building that's like in the centre of one of the worst optimised areas in the entire game. Like, you know, that's impressive. But it's impressive in the same way watching someone eat 20 Domino's pizzas would be impressive. Like, sure, I'm amazed that you could do that, but you shouldn't have done that. Would you believe this section is quite easy? Would you also believe that even a fully armoured Brotherhood of Steel Knight isn't anywhere near a match for us? Could I also convince you that this elevator ride where I literally can't do anything was also not that bad because the Brotherhood of Steel can't aim for shit? I mean, sure, they knocked out Allie a couple times, but, like, she's immortal, that doesn't count. Yeah, no, this first section was almost upsettingly simple. I'm just holding down a button and going in with my brain turned off. Between my frankly disgusting damage output, and the fact that most ranged enemies won't shoot at me if I'm too close to one of their allies because they don't want to hit their friend, there really wasn't a whole lot to worry about. I even took the harder route where I could actually engage in combat just to see if that would up the challenge. I mean, I suppose I did use a few extra stim packs, so yeah, I guess technically it was. But so far, the only enemy in this run that's actually killed me has been that guy with the fat man earlier. I don't think I can really call this a challenge run, it's more of a taking the piss run, which, you know, fair. Let's see if the robots in the basement are anything to worry about. Let's find out right away by turning them on immediately. Let's show these Assaultrons the true meaning of pain. Honestly, that's pretty much what I expected. Let me just go and grab the Bourbon adjective. I'm just gonna take this. Thank you. Okay, Miss Sentrybot, what have you got for us? Not a whole lot, it turns out. So, if you are having trouble with mass fusion or anything in Fallout 4, just bring a minigun with a shredder on it. You'll be fine. At least you will be in theory. Come on, Ali, shoot the bloody turret. Why did you bring an automatic laser gun with you? It's just a terrible idea. It can't hit Dick and its damage is pitiful. Finally. You know what, I'll deal with this one. I don't trust you to be able to sort it out. Anyway, let's get out of here. You know what, despite the fact that in its current state the lobby of mass fusion is a hotspot for game crashes, I'm gonna stick around and help out. Besides, this entire run has been pretty stable, despite the fact I thought me using this weapon this particular way would cause the game to... This was a mistake. And one that apparently I'm gonna keep on fucking making. I could have just walked out the front door at any point, but because the game crashed here, I now feel like I have to do this out of spite. I am very easily motivated by spite, much to the ever-growing concern of my therapist. Right, that's done. Let's head back to the Institute because we have to help our synth buddies start their revolution. To do this, we're going to have to clear out a room so they have a sort of base of operations. Oh, and if we can, dump any weapons that we're not using into a footlocker for them to use in the upcoming battle. Which I might as well do. I don't really need any of these things. I mean, I suppose I could have sold them, but I don't really need bullets and I'm not exactly low on stim packs yet. So let me just quickly clear out the room full of guard synths who are all for some reason standing in one little clump over there. It works for me, they're much easier to hit now. Damn it, I'm out of breath. Listen, balance-wise, I get why spinning the minigun in melee uses up our AP, but like, why does it do that? If it was one of those old-timey Gatling guns where you had to rotate the crank to get it to fire, then I'd understand. But, like, it's not. Also, Sims, can you step away from the guard so I can kill him? I don't want to accidentally hit any of you. I know they're all currently flagged as unkillable, but, like, I know that I also have the ability to override that sometimes. Okay, I guess I'll just, you know, hang out here and wait for these guys to do their thing. At least it's not going to take as long as it did when I was doing the companion-only run. Thank you. There we go, buddy. You can start setting up now. I suppose I should probably take the buggering adjudicator over to the, you know, reactor, so we can start reacting. Oh, hi, Ali. I thought I could go down here. Oh, no, wait. We've got to do Sean's, like, evil villain speech thing first. I keep forgetting about that. Ah, well, talking to her gave us a level up. Back to perception pumping. Like I said, I don't think we'll actually get to a stage where we can really use it, but we might as well try. Hey Sean, do you need help with your podcast? No, wait, hold on, this is the kidnapping mission. Oh boy, here I go kidnapping. Oh, hey guys, what's going on here? Oh, okay, fine then. I guess we're doing violence. I'm perfectly fine with that. I bet they weren't. Hi, gunners guarding my victim. Bye, gunners guarding my victim. Oh, wait, this is not going very well. Oh, I was still wearing an Institute outfit. I put one on when I went back because I like to look the part. Oops. Not going to be making that mistake again. Oh yeah, if you didn't know that, I like to do that sometimes because it's like, you know, I feel like I should at least pretend that I work there. Although, to be fair, Kellogg's outfit, which is the one I'm currently using, is also technically an Institute outfit because he worked for them. I could have just left that on, but, ah well. Okay, gunners, let's try this a little differently this time. There we go, much better. Hey random scientist, come and join the Institute. Look, my outfit is nice, you can definitely see it through the door.
I don't want to.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
There you go, situation has been I'm gonna be your boss one day. Okay, now it's time for the villain speech. People of the Commonwealth, I'm going to lick your eyeballs. Oh, don't look at me like that. I said exactly what you wanted me to say. No, don't double check the script. Now we just have to go to Diamond City Radio and rejigger and do what's it to do the thingamabobby. I'm a scientist. Now we can go and start the reactor. Once again, I'm still baffled that they just let me walk around with this fucking radioactive nightmare. There we go. Now we get to head up a directorate meeting, and yes, I'm wearing a Corsa uniform this time, because this way, if I forget to take it off, at least it still offers me some protection. Okay folks, we need to build more synths, and don't worry, it definitely won't be a problem for you all later. It's gonna be a problem for me later, I just realised that. I had this the wrong way round. Anyway, that's done. Oh yeah, my quarters have flooded. Quick, let's go check. Hi synth buddy, what's the word? Is it bird? No, it's not. That bit is not funny. It hasn't been funny for a decade. The Brotherhood of Steel are about to attack the railroad. Oh no, let's just not ask how you even have that intel, where you even got such information from. Let's go deal with this. I hope I'm not too late. Ah, drummer boy, you're still alive. I don't care. Hey Des, you know how one of our enemy factions is a bunch of dudes in power armor with massive laser guns and all of our dudes have like pipe weapons? You're not gonna love what I'm about to tell you. Don't worry everyone, I'll carry us through this. Just be glad that your local serial killer is on your side. That is a terrible life lesson. Also, this is not going as well as it could. And before they burst in, I actually swapped back to Kellogg's outfit, which gives me a reasonable amount of energy resistance, so yeah. This could be a problem. And you know what I just remembered? We're gonna have to kill a vertibird later, by which I mean Deacon is gonna have to kill a vertibird later, and we're just gonna have to stand there awkwardly, like we did last time. Hooray! Maybe I should have picked a different faction. Although I probably could have picked a different faction for the simple reason that I do the railroad so much I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit. And will you stop interrupting my attacks? Like seriously, what a douche canoe. Now you two, play nice. What did I just tell you? I'm gonna be having words with your supervisor, buddy. And of course by words I mean like satchel charges. Those are words. And explosions. That's the big night down. That's the buddies taken care of. There we go. Time to go and assault the police station. I feel like for the initial assault, I'm gonna want my suit of power armor. I won't wear it when I actually go to the Prydwen. I'll come back and drop it off because you can just do that. I also found a bunch of Brotherhood of Steel combat armor pieces that I can just wear. I mean, they won't count as a disguise. Fallout 4 doesn't have faction-specific armor in that way. Still though, if I do piss someone off when I'm on the Prydwen, I can quickly swap back to the combat armor pieces to get myself a bit more survivability. Never a bad idea to have a plan B. As you can see, I'm already assaulting the police station, and it happens to be going oh so well. Because I'm wearing power armor, the one consideration we had, that being the AP use, is no longer a thing. So I can, quite literally, just hold the button down and slowly amble through the police station until everyone inside is reduced to a pile of guts. I can't help but think that my no medical equipment character Brick would really love this weapon. I mean, it so conveniently puts the guts on the outside. That makes eating your fellow human much easier. Yeah, if you missed my no medical equipment run, my character was a cannibal. Anywho, as has been the case with this entire run, the Brotherhood of Steel really don't know how to handle this particular build. Looking back over the footage, it took me like 90 seconds to clear out this entire area. The only thing I couldn't reach was the ceiling turret, but Deacon dealt with it in a relatively quick fashion. Maybe that means he'll get his act together and deal with the vertibirds in record time. It's definitely not going to mean that, is it? Hey Tom, could I take those explosive charges off you now, please? Thank you. Now to deal with the vertibird, by which I mean I'll deal with the foot soldiers that drop out of the vertibird like they're space marines, and I'll just wait for Deacon to finally polish this thing off. It can't be that hard. How long could it possibly take to take down a vertibird with a hunting rifle? By the Titan, will you please deal with this fucking thing? This is somehow more annoying than it was in the companion-only run, because at least in that one I was used to doing nothing. Yeah, you better not fly down here. I'll fucking shredder you if you do. Although, if you did want to kamikaze right into me, I'm pretty open to that at this point. Close enough. Right, now I'm just going to go and dump my power armor real quick, so bear with me for that. There we go. Right, onto the Prydwen. Let's destroy this thing. Yeah, just as I thought, I'll have to put on an actual Brotherhood of Steel uniform to blend in. But hey, it sits below my combat armor, so that's good. To avoid taking unnecessary lasers to the face, I'm going to be avoiding contact with these people as much as possible. Don't get me wrong, my charisma isn't terrible, but it's certainly not up to snuff for this sort of task. One explosive charge. Please don't look over and notice me. And that's two explosive charges. Now just one more and oh, I don't like the look of that knight. Let me just sneak past right here. And that's 3 charges. Let's go. No time for the stairs. You know what, there was probably time for the stairs. I feel like what I just did took longer. Anyway, get me the fuck out of here. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Please don't notice me running away suspiciously. Okay, let's get out of here. Oh, was that the Prydwen swapping to its explodable model? I don't think I've ever seen it do that before. Unless I have, and I just have a really poor memory for this particular thing. Anyway, everyone enjoy the fireworks. Yeah, it definitely leaves something to be desired. With that all sorted, we've now got one more enemy to deal with, the Institute. And you know what, because it's going to be the big final assault, let's take our suit of power armour. I mean, why not, eh? Let's go out in a blaze of glory. Hey Dares, are you ready to commit genocide? Because I know I am. That's a wonderful soundbite to have out there, isn't it? So, I should probably go into the Institute and take control of the relay room, shouldn't I? I mean, I am literally the only person in our faction who can even do that. Psst, synth buddy. We're gonna go do murder. Cow down in fear before the Commonwealth Shredder! My initial plan throughout this run was to do it kind of like a serial killer, but I just sort of forgot. I designed the thumbnail and chose that theme before I realised I was gonna have to get to level 13 to even build the fucking thing. Anyway, let's get the army in here so we can take this place by force! That's how people laugh, right? Would you believe that these simps really aren't designed to have a minigun rammed into them and then spun up at full speed to tear them apart? I mean, well, probably most things aren't designed for that. Aw, now I have to kill gorillas. Thanks, Fallout 4. They're one of my favourite animals and you're making me murder them. I hope you can sleep at night. Saying that, I like to picture that when Fallout 4 goes to bed for the night, it hops onto a nice comfy mattress that then violently clips through the floor. Hi, Institute scientists. I'm here to do a murder on you. And again, I'm sorry for taking so long to get into the serial killer character. I'm pretty sure you, my lovely viewers, know exactly what to expect from this bit. The Shredder is absolutely dominating, the synths are dropping like flies, and even the almighty coursers can't do a thing to stop me, because they all died right at the beginning of this. Oh yeah, I always forget about this one legendary synth here. Although I often forget about him for good fucking reason. Oh no, Sean, watch out, a serial killer's in the room. She's gonna rip you to shreddies. Yeah, that joke would have worked a lot better if he exploded, but he just sort of didn't. It also would have worked better if it was funny. Death from above! Wow, these synth rebels are really not doing very good. Seriously, what would any of you have done if I wasn't here to help you? You know, aside from die. Anyway, to the reactor. Out of my way, synth. Aw, how cute. You think you can stop me? I am the God Queen of Death, the High Duchess of Murder Mountain. Stand in my way at your own peril. Ooh, someone's got a missile launcher, and buddy, it works a lot better if you don't fire it into the fucking wall. Death from above again. Not gonna lie, the whole death from above thing feels really anticlimactic when I have to stand there awkwardly to let my gun spin up. Oh, hello robot version of my son. You know what you can— Oi. Rude. I'm still gonna take you with me because I need a murder apprentice, but don't you be shoving me around like that. Okay, Tom, get us all out of here. Or just me. I don't really care if the rest of you survive. You better not stand in my way. Up, there we go. See, they know what I'm all about. Now, get me the hell out of here. There we go, now we just do this, do that, and press. And with that, the Shredder run is at its end. So that was my Fallout 4 Shredder only run. I hope you enjoyed this. As you could tell throughout the video, I definitely lost some of the interest in this because just getting to a point where I even had the Shredder was kind of annoying. It wouldn't have been if I just, you know, did the whole building cheese earlier. I still don't really love doing it. It feels a little bit too cheap even for my incredibly cheap ass. Still though, the run absolutely had its moments. I am genuinely still quite shocked just how effective this weapon is. You'd probably think that since the damage only scales with one particular perk, work that it probably wouldn't be all that viable to beat the game with this thing. I was initially worried about melee focused enemies that could block our attacks, but unless they're Mirelurks like in this footage here, enemies won't actually try to block you if you just stand there and spin the gun, because they don't register it as a melee attack. I was also initially worried that because this was so easy I wouldn't have any fun at all, and yeah, there were some moments where I was kind of unengaged, but towards the end things did start to pick up. Any hoodly doodle, I hope you enjoyed this little excursion. Next time I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing a fire only run, or most likely just a Molotov only run, depending on how lazy I get with the idea. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much for being here and watching this. I know it took a while to happen, it didn't need to take that long in hindsight, but it did, and I appreciate you waiting. Thank you so much. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.